Hello, guys. Welcome back
Hey
to
everybody.
this edition, the fourth edition of Meet Elaina and Chris. I hope you guys are doing well. In this edition, we're going to be talking about my transition from Africa to United States. Dun,
And
dun, dun, dun.
and also we're going to be talking about just my side, the transition, because I think a lot of times we focus on what the transition is for the person coming to the US, but what I learned is that there's also a transition for the person that's already in America. So we're going to give you guys both angles in this episode. So we're glad you're here, and let's get started. Okay, so guys, we're having a little staycation. We're at the pool. I know you can hear the background noise. Hopefully it's not too distracting, but yeah, we want to start. So baby, you get your visa. You've been waiting, like 30 days. Your medicals are done. Your interview is done. Everything is done, and you're just waiting for the green light that you got your visa. And so you finally get it. What's your first thoughts going through your mind?
Yeah, when I was called to come get my visa, what flashed through my mind is that finally I'm gonna you know travel to be together with the love of my life, and to start a life, start our family properly. um that was this fullness of joy, ecstasy going on in my heart, that what we have been waiting for a long period of time is
Yeah,
finally here.
yeah,
So I know, you guys feel that joy, the people that have transited, joy that's transition from meeting their loved ones and all that. I know that kind of joy, that kind of ecstasy, is the same thing here. Like you feel like the whole world is coming together for you. Like you feel like it's an answered prayer and all that. Yeah,
yeah,
it was a happy moment. I
yeah.
won't lie. It
Did you cry?
um Actually, I didn't cry, but there was a mixed emotions. I was nostalgic.
Like you were gonna miss Africa, but
Yeah,
it was time to start this new life.
exactly. There
Yeah,
was these feelings of nostalgic, and knowing that, oh, this is what you've been like. It's like a dream of the night. Like the truth is possibly um humanly possible. It's looking at the immigration system, what is going on right now. Yeah, not everybody could make it.
yeah,
So most of those thoughts go through my mind, and I was like, oh, yeah, finally, it was able to happen for me on my side, and more especially meeting the one that have been in with this journey for a long time.
yeah.
It was everything at that moment. It was everything. So yeah.
So did you feel prepared, like in that moment? I know it had been 30 days, just kind of waiting for news. Did you feel like prepared because you had this big travel journey ahead of you just to get to the final destination? So it wasn't like everything was completely done, but did you feel prepared to take whatever the next steps were? Did you feel prepared?
The next step.
Yeah, like
Yeah, I feel prepared, like emotionally, like
okay,
to because I know what I'm coming for. Like
okay,
I wasn't coming, I was coming to start a family.
okay,
So it was on my mind. I was prepared for that emotionally. I was already prepared. But what I wasn't prepared for was, you know, let's say things that I need. What I'm gonna see there when I come. Like I knew there's gonna be challenges, but I wasn't really prepared for the challenges. But I knew I could overcome the challenges if I am on the same side with the person I'm going to meet with.
okay.
So yeah. So I knew there's gonna be challenges. Transitioning from a
From
different
African
continent. It's not
culture,
like different
yeah,
culture,
yeah, different
different
food,
perspective.
yeah, very good,
Yeah, we're
yeah,
gonna still talk
perspective,
about the food. Yeah,
yeah,
the different food, different perspective, the way people think are
yeah,
different. I knew, like, oh, there's gonna be, like, something right there that is gonna weigh me down at a point or another.
Yeah.
But the truth is, I told myself, yeah, once I get the support of the person I love, that's it. I could
Okay.
overcome any storm that comes close.
Okay. 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 So now let's talk about your travel, babe, because it was a really like out of the ordinary travel experience, and like you said, one of the longest that you ever had. So
Yeah.
like tell us like how it was traveling. You got your visa, you already had you got your flight booked, and you show up at the airport.
Yeah, when I got my visa, I left um in the next couple of days. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it was like a week, I think.
Yeah, it was a week.
4 or 5 days
Yeah, 4 or 5 days.
from there. Yeah.
I left. I checked out of my Airbnb. Getting to the airport, my flight was delayed.
Yeah, but when you showed up, they were saying that it didn't even exist or something, right? Because I remember you calling me and being
Yeah,
like, "They're saying there's no
initially they
flight."
said there was no flight,
Yeah, and
and
we were like, "What?"
so I was there for hours, trying to,
Yeah, that's exactly just for
yeah,
them to figure out that
just to
they had
figure out.
delayed it a day because they didn't
So
even.
yeah,
It wasn't even in the system.
so it was delayed, and I have to book checked in a hotel. Um, um, the next flight was in the middle of the night, so
And remember the problem with even trying to rebook it was that he had connections, so he couldn't just take the next thing they offered, right? That's why you had to wait a day.
yeah, I had to wait a day
Yeah.
because I think the next flight was the next day, like full next day. So I had to, take the closest flight, which is the midnight. So midnight, they came in, they took us up to the airport, we boarded, and straight to Kenya. Yeah, I arrived at Kenya. I went through the immigration, and the flight was delayed once again. Yeah, so when you are transiting, when you're traveling, these are the experiences you might have. And one of the experiences I have because of my passport, because I had a green passport. You guys, yeah,
You guys know it
you
is.
guys know what it is. I
Yeah.
have a green passport. So I have to be stopped a couple of times, you know, to be checked thoroughly and all that, So, but finally, I made it to the gate, with so many scrutinations and trying to make sure people that are boarding the flight are clean and ready to go. Um, but before then, I was delayed in Kenya also. Like I said, I was delayed for another 24 hours. Like I said, this is the longest trip I had in my life. I was delayed in Kenya for 24 hours
And what was
before
uh
before we before we started the full journey to the United States.
and what was funny was that on the other side, I'm waiting for him, so I had already started beginning preparing things on based on the date that we had already originally planned
Yeah.
with our flights that he would arrive, and so that meant like lining up to make sure I was available and not working, that I didn't have to pick up my daughter. So all of this derailed it. Yeah, very much so to where I had to change my plans to pick him up. I even had planned to go in to the inside of the airport and meet him in there, but even that got messed up because he came in at just a crazy time. So yeah, Kenya.
Yeah, I boarded to the gate. We waited for a couple of hours. The announcements were made. People that travel a lot knows about a little delay again. So we're supposed to leave by 12. Finally we left by 1 hour late. So it was a 16-hour flight initially, but we landed at the JFK 18 hours later. So I think I wasn't bothered about it though. Where I was happy that I finally landed.
That was your first feeling when you landed in JFK. You were just happy that you made it.
I was just happy that I made it. to United States, to the JFK airport, you know.
And how was it
And
going
I was
through?
like, what was going through my mind was, the distance is closing.
Yeah.
Yeah, the distance was not long before,
Yeah.
but right now I'm in New York already,
Yeah. And you just have to
so
make it to
I have to just
Florida.
have to make it to Florida,
Yeah.
which is another flight, a
Like
2 hour
a 2 hour
flight.
flight.
It's
Yeah.
no longer an 18 hours. So
Yeah.
that was what I was going through my
So
mind.
you were staying positive. Now, what was it like going through immigration at the JFK airport? Because I know a lot of people are nervous about, like, are they hassling, or what's like, is it extra scrutinized? Like, what was it like?
During that period, a lot was going on. There's a lot of fake news.
Yeah, that was 2025.
That was 2025. The ban was
already started.
announced. It's
Yeah.
already started.
Yeah.
But what I understood when I landed was that the ban wasn't affecting the people with the visa already. You can't get a visa to the United States at that point. But if you already have one, you could get in, So at that point, yeah, I wouldn't lie, I was nervous and all that. But when I got to the immigration, the GHS, I was they looked on all my documents. They took my passport, look at it, because automatically everything about you is gonna come up. This is a scrutinizing system, like it's an effective one. Yeah, I'll give it to them. So, yeah, everything was done, and a couple of minutes I was given my passport. I was stamped that, oh, welcome to the United States. Um, so I got in. I waited for my bags. Because of our flight was late, I missed my flight to Orlando. So it made the journey more longer. So I had to reschedule with the airline, with the Delta airline.
And how long did you have to wait for the next flight?
I waited for 5 hours.
Yeah, I think it was 5 or 6 hours.
Because it was 10 to 3. We left by 3. Yeah, we left by 3. So it was like 5 hours wait, another 5 hour rollover. Yeah. So yeah, it was pretty a long journey. So I waited and another scrutinizer. So the thing is, once you arrive at a system that works, there's gonna be a lot of scrutinizing and all that. Just the thing, I wasn't scared because I knew I was like, my documents, everything was, in the right stand and all that. So there wasn't like any, now being nervous or another. So I started another journey to Florida, Orlando airport, and it took me like 2 hours to land on Orlando. So in all this journey, I wasn't like eating, trying to, do stuff. My mind was.
Yeah, you didn't eat because I asked you.
Yeah, I didn't eat.
I think you ate a little bit on the plane, but
I was only on the plane.
He didn't eat, he was just drinking water. He didn't eat. I
was just, a couple of snacks they gave and all that, because I wasn't feeling hungry. My mind was where I was going, So yeah, I don't know if there's anything I missed, but it was really a journey. Yes. I can say that it was really a journey. When I landed in Orlando, I knew this is it. I knew, yeah, I am here now. So I had to go through, the
customs. Did you go through customs? No, you didn't have to.
Not immigration, like it just
regular deboarding.
Regular deboarding, getting my bags, and waiting. She just gave me clues of what to do.
Yeah, I just told him
because it's actually a big airport.
It's a big airport.
It's really, really big airport.
And I wasn't coming in, so I was trying to explain to him where to go, how to get his bags. And
so automatically, I started seeing signs. I have to follow them. Follow all the. Everything happening around, trying to find my way.
And it was night. What was it, like 8 or?
It was already 9? Yeah, it was already 8 in the night.
Yeah, it was already night. And that's not our closest airport. So I don't use that airport very much. So I'm coming to him and I'm thinking, oh, it's going to be simple. But I got there and it was so much traffic. Because people who are familiar with the Orlando airport maybe they already know that I didn't know. So there's so much traffic. I literally told him it was like Lagos. Like there were cars honking, there was noise everywhere. It was very crazy. And I was thinking, oh man, how is he gonna even find me like in all this craziness?
Yeah, but yeah, we kept in touch. We kept talking and positioning myself, where I can see her easily, and finally, dun 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 dun, I saw my wife.
Oh my goodness.
The distance
In the car and it
was closed.
Okay, so you saw me, you're there, you get in the car, and then what's going through your mind?
Yeah, the distance is closed finally,
It's closed.
and I'm here to start a family with you, and see where our life goes. And this is actually intentionality. I knew what I'm coming for. I knew the commitment already for over 2.5 years, over 2 years, 2.5 years now. So it wasn't like a joke anymore. Like even if you were, it's not anymore. I'm joking, guys. So yeah, I knew that the distance is closed, and I'm here with my wife. There's a new chapter that's about to start.
Yeah.
So I was ready because this was the hardest part. Yeah, and any other part that's gonna be hard, I know. Yeah, it's been rough already, but you know, but what keeps me going is like, yeah, this is it. Like, this is the person I want to spend the rest of my life with. So any problem we see, any trouble, any turbulence, we are ready to solve it together. So it's not like, when we were apart, if we're going through things, we can just speak on the phone. But when we're out of the phone, we still face it alone. But right now, anything we are facing is together. Oh baby, look at this. Oh baby, look at that. Oh, we are facing it together. You can't run away from it. The problem, you can't. Your spouse helps you. You work both ways. She helps me, and I help her. To tackle issues and tackle some problems in our personal lives and all that.
So then looking back to you getting in the car, and like you said, knowing this new journey is about to start to today, how has it been? Did you feel like it's gone the way you kind of expected it to go, or do you think that new things came up that you were like, this wasn't what I saw initially? Does it make sense?
Yeah, hey guys, the thing is, where we're coming from, yeah, it's not like to talk down on Africa or something. Africa is a beautiful nation.
Yeah, we've been seeing, and even on our TikTok, I want to say we've been just a small little comments, and I know everybody has their own opinion.
Yeah.
But we have seen people say that, bro doesn't like Nigeria stuff, but he's not. Trust me, he takes up for Nigeria more than he talks about it. But we try to be factual, like be honest.
Man, just be honest.
Yeah,
that's what we're trying to do.
But he's not against his country. Like he honestly wants to go back, guys.
Yeah.
So
I'm definitely gonna retire in Nigeria. Yeah. Like don't even go close. So. Most people think, even at now, that when you travel abroad, especially like certain countries, that their system are more better. Let me just put it that way. That everything has ended. Like you are on top of the world. No, guys. Yeah, I used to think that way though until I met my wife. She start telling me, it's different here too. Like people are struggling here, and all that. So there were those expectations, even though I know that they are struggling Americans and all that, but there were more expectations, like that when you get here, there are certain things that are gonna turn. For example, let's say you're just gonna get a kind of job you want, and you're gonna be making. See, the purchasing power in dollar is different from the purchasing power of other currencies. But don't forget, you're living in America, you will be spending in dollars. So So it's not like I'm earning in dollars and I'm spending another currency, bro. You are spending in dollars, and everything is quite expensive here. So, for example, whatever I get in Nigeria for 5K, I might get it for $5. $5 is not 5K. $5 is roughly like 10K or more, if I'm not mistaken. So, if you think about it, like, you see that even at that, the United States have more inflation than Nigeria. They have more inflation than Nigeria. People pay house rents monthly. So, what I'm trying to do is just to debunk that mentality in Africa that, oh, when you get to the States or when you get to the UK, but
Your
man,
whole life is
your
about to
whole life is about to
change and
change.
you're about to be making so much
No,
money.
no, no.
Yeah.
It's not. It's. I know some people might believe or some people might not believe, but I'm just trying to tell you because I'm in the system right now. I know how much I make, and I know how much goes into the house. I know how much we can save. So you see that we are trying to balance things.
Yeah.
So an average Nigerian that make what I make here might be comfortable back home,
Yeah, absolutely.
but what I make, I'm still not. I'm still
Yeah.
trying to
Grow.
grow
Yeah.
and all that to
Yeah,
get
yeah.
into
Bigger
to the
things.
bigger things.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to debunk that mentality. Yeah, I know. The system is quite different and all that. But even if you get here, you're still gonna even work more than you work in Nigeria. Yeah, you're still gonna. I work more right now than when I was in Nigeria. There's more stress on me right here than when I was in Nigeria. So I'm just trying to debunk that mentality, knowing that you can definitely make it anywhere you are. If God wants you to get to the travel abroad, definitely you're gonna
It'll
travel.
happen.
If
Yeah.
God doesn't want you stay around there and make it. It's still gonna happen. So
Yeah.
it happened both ways and all that. So
Okay, so on my end, for me, the transition, I think I was just trying to prepare like space for him. Like a long time ago, before he came, I did like an act of faith, and I got a nightstand, a matching nightstand, and a lamp for his side of the bed. So really, I was just like I was trying to make sure the house was clean. I knew he was taking a long flight and that he hadn't eaten, so I was trying to prepare some food. Do you remember what I prepared?
jollof rice
And what else?
and chicken.
And chicken. Yeah, I mean that's generally what I make a lot. Still, it's chicken.
Yeah.
But yeah, I made my own little version of like the best I could do jollof rice, and I use an instant pot, but jollof rice and like some roasted chicken that he likes. Baby, how do you like my jollof rice?
Yeah, it was unexpectedly like I didn't know. Yeah, because I knew when we were in Nigeria, she tried to make. She sees me like how I make it.
And then your
So
sister.
and my sister, yeah, I didn't know she was kind of copying, the recipes and all that. So I was surprised when I came in. She served me jollof rice. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, so I wanted him
And
to.
yeah, if I can rate the jollof rice 1 to 10, I'm gonna rate it a 9, a solid 9.
Okay, so that's nice. Okay, so yeah, I wanted the house to be clean. I didn't want him to come into disarray, even though now like generally the house is not very clean most of the time. But I didn't want him to come in seeing it like that, and I wanted him to be able to eat and rest because I knew that that was going to be important after him traveling so far, and that was the first time he had done travel like that. So for me, I was really just trying to prepare and make sure he was comfortable. I was talking to everybody in the house and make sure they're good, make sure they knew he was coming and that they felt good, that they didn't have any questions, um, and that if they did, I could answer them. And then just trying to mentally prepare because I really didn't know what it was gonna be like. Yeah, I didn't know what it was gonna be like, and I didn't know if I was gonna be feeling kind of weird, like, or if we were just gonna jump back into the flow of things. But it was really like a bummer for me that I wasn't able to get out and go into the airport and meet him and have like this moment that we could like 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 film and everything and have this memory of like when he came. That was a bummer. But otherwise, yeah, I was just wanting him to feel comfortable and feel like he could rest and feel like he was welcomed. And that was really it. I remember the drive home, it was dark. It was really dark. And if you know Florida, like on the highways, they don't have lights. So it's not like, it was just most like non-climactic or whatever the word would be drive because it was dark and he couldn't see anything. I think eventually you did fall asleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did eventually fall asleep, but it was just like just such a boring way to come in because there's stuff to see on the road and he didn't see anything. And I was like, oh shoot, he's gonna think, yeah, we live in the we live in the country because there's nothing, he couldn't see anything. So it was really not the big like, wow, welcome to America that I wanted him to have. But at the same time, I was very glad that this part was over because it had been extremely stressful. It had been really challenging in our marriage, and then just the stress of not even knowing when we were going to see each other to a point. And so to know that that part was over and we were like able to start and see what happens from there was really like yeah, really exciting. Like I'd even tried to buy him, yeah, I bought you a couple of clothes, right?
Yeah.
We even because he came December 20th, so that's the other thing, it was right before Christmas. And so my mom was like, should we get him some presents? And I was like, yeah. So we got him some shoes and some shirts and some clothes because I knew he was coming with all his Nigerian stuff, which he wasn't gonna wear here. So I even got him some clothes and shoes, and so he would have some stuff to wear initially, even though I knew we were going to be going shopping and stuff like that. And so he would have some presents under the tree, which he did. And so that was generally, yeah, how I felt. I don't even remember outside of just getting home, and then because it was a long drive, I basically drove to Orlando, picked him up, and then drove back in the midst of a lot of traffic, even just getting there. But I don't even remember the rest of the night. I remember you eating and you taking a shower, and I don't remember the rest of. Do you remember the rest of the night?
I just slept.
Yeah, he slept and
Slept on the bed. Closing the distance.
oh my goodness. So yeah, basically just understand that the LDR journey is long, and a big part of it is just getting together, but then there's a whole nother journey that starts once
you get
you guys
together.
are together. Yeah, once you guys are together. And we'll probably save there's a lot to talk about still, but I do just want to touch on the fact that because we are going to talk about cultural differences and that part of the transition, but I do just want to talk about, even for if you're receiving your partner, just understanding that it's just not the transition isn't just about him or that person. Like there's a big part that they endure on their own. Like all that time he was by himself, he's waiting for the visa, he's going to the interviews, that's all him by himself, you know, mentally being strong, staying strong in the spirit to endure just all the unknowns that we had to deal with and still keep our relationship going. But on the other side, you know, they always say you're not prepared for marriage until you're in it or something like that. Isn't there like
Yeah, sometimes I think you feel like you're prepared.
Yeah.
But I can tell you it's not 100%.
Yeah, it's not 100%.
Yeah, because there's a lot of things you're gonna encounter in the marriage itself than when you are like not in the marriage. So relationship is different from marriage. I tell people you can be in the relationship for 9 years, but the first year you get into marriage, you start seeing it's a whole different ball game.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think this is a topic for another day though. But,
yeah, but just to know that even if you travel to Nigeria, when he comes, you might see a different man, and not in a bad way, but just in a different way. So don't expect to have the same experiences that you had while you were there in his country, because I think I was thinking, oh, he's going to get here. We've already spent several months together when I was in Nigeria. We're just going to pick up where we left off at. And that wasn't the case at all. It was completely different. Yeah, it was just completely different. And I wasn't prepared the way that I thought I was, and I had to learn that I was even transitioning myself with him,
Yeah.
so that we could become one. And I definitely want to talk about that as we go along. Is that there is an element to becoming one. You come together, but now you have to learn how to become one. So there's still like a lot more to talk about. We'll talk about him looking for jobs. We'll talk about the culture shock and the support on my end, and just what it looks like just becoming one. That's what the marriage is about. So yeah, I think
That's about it for this episode, guys. Yeah, I will commend you for subscribing, for sharing, for following us on all social media platforms.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see you on the next one.
Thank you so much for
Thank
your
you.
support.
Let's go. Let's go. Thank you so much for your support.
Thank you so much for your support. I love my husband.
Yeah. So yeah, we're still trying to talk about the transition here. So I came in and started looking for a job.
Well, hold on.
Okay.
Wait, let's first. Maybe we should save that for episode 5.
Oh, okay.
Because for
You're gonna cut this, right?
we are now, because you said that.